Hey guys, it's Heather from Tech at Lowell Library again, here with this month's YA Book Club. Last month I hope y'all enjoyed the spooky stories for, of course, the spookiest month of the year, October. And this month, of course, it's heist stories! Yay! I love a good heist. So the call line for this one is "Get in, losers, we're gonna go steal something." It's my favorite, and I definitely laughed for a solid couple minutes at my own joke. But moving on, let's get on to the books, the reason you're here. The first up is The Great Green Heist by Varian Johnson. So this one is about Jackson Green, who has sworn off cons. But when he hears that Keith is running up against his former BFF, Gabby, he knows he has to do something. Keith has connections with the principal, which could let him win no matter what the votes are. So Jackson assembles his team and devises a plan to even the playing field. Sounds like fun. Not too thick. Definitely on my to-read list, so give it a try. Now to the next. Please excuse the cover. This is a little bit of an older book. It does have updated covers. We don't have one with an updated cover, I know, because I checked. But it's one of my favorites, and if you're going to talk about thieves and heists, you've got to talk about this. It's The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner. Look, it's got a special award. So, the king's scholar, the Magus, believes he knows the site of an ancient treasure. To attain it for his king, he needs a skillful thief, and he selects Jen from the king's prison. The Magus is only interested in the thief's skill. What Jen is interested in is anyone's guess. I read this book a few years ago. I loved it. The whole series is great. As a matter of fact, the latest book number 6, just came out, The Return of the Thief, and super exciting. Super exciting. The twist is just every one of the books in this series has a twist that you just don't see coming, and you're just like, what just happened? It's my favorite thing when you're reading a book and you just don't see it coming. So, ignore the cover. Remember, don't judge a book by its cover, despite the fact that we all do. Read the book. Have your mind blown. And then read the rest, because, book number 6 just came out, so you can binge read. My favorite thing. Next is another one of my favorites by an author I greatly enjoy. It is Heist Society by Ali Carter. So, Kat is a con from a family of cons, helping with jobs since she was 3 years old. Her best work? Scamming her way into an elite boarding school and leaving the business behind. At least, until an old friend comes and tells her that her dad is caught between Interpol and a very angry mobster who just lost his priceless art collection. Now she and her crew have to track down the art and steal it back. This book was just a riot. There's some intrigue and whodunit kind of thing, but it's just funny. Teenagers blowing things up, kind of funny, so y'all know what kind of humor I have. You heard the tagline at the beginning of this, so definitely check that out. There's 2 more books in the series, all good. This next one, I'm kind of cheating because we did this before we closed as the book club book because it's one of my favorites and I just want to talk about it and read it as often and as much as I can. It's 6 of Crows by Lee Bardugo. Those of you who were in book club before shutdown can now roll your eyes. Now that we're done with that, Kaz Brecker is a criminal prodigy. He's offered a chance at a deadly heist that would make him fabulously rich, but he can't do it alone. So he assembles his team. A convict, a sharpshooter, a runaway, a spy, a heartrender, and a thief. Kaz's crew is the only thing that might stand between the world and destruction, if they don't kill each other first. This takes place in the Grisha-verse. So a heartrender is basically, they do magic, and their magic is particular to the human body, which is why they're called a heartrender. There's also a little bit of talk about the previous trilogy, but you can read this without having read her other books, because I started with this one and then went back to her original series. It takes a little bit to kind of get into it, but once you're in, it's hilarious. At one point, Kaz posits the question, what is the best way to steal a man's watch? And some of the answers are stab him, poison him. And he's like, no, you tell him you're going to steal something else. It's absolutely hilarious when they do it, when she does it. So, again, it's my favorite. You should definitely read it and then read the next one because it kind of ends on a cliffhanger. Fun times! Next up is The Disasters by M.K. England. That's a pretty cover. We all pick books by their covers. Sometimes you gotta ignore it, though. So, Nax Hall isn't surprised when he's kicked out of the elite Ellis Station Academy. He is surprised when he and 3 other washouts are the only survivors and witnesses of an attack on the academy. On the run and framed for atrocities they didn't commit, Nax and his fellow failures execute a dangerous heist to spread the truth about what happened. This one sounds really cool again. Really neat cover, kind of sci-fi. Sounds really, really interesting. There's not a sequel. The author says she wants to write a sequel. She's got the outline and everything, but she's got to talk the publisher into it. So if you read it and you like it, send something the publisher's way like, we need a second book. Because it sounds like she could use some help convincing them. So, another great book. And now, last but certainly not least, the graphic novel for this month, because I am trying to include at least one. And if you don't know anything about this franchise, please ask your parents, older siblings. They'll probably know and tell you about the woe that was the TV series that was played out of order and then canceled. You guessed it right. It's Firefly! And this is The Unification War, Part 1. So I'm pretty sure it technically occurs like before the TV series and the movie. So if you've have actually watched those, you should be okay reading this. So, Captain Malcolm thought he could outrun his past, but when a simple mission goes wrong, he's forced to confront it in the form of unificators. Mercenaries deputized to hunt down war criminals, and they've got Mal and Zoe at the top of their list. War can make villains out of even the best of men, and Mal's quest for redemption will put him at odds with his own crew, forcing him to make a choice. Fix the past or fight for the future. It was probably a bit of a stretch, but I know they go and they steal things in the series and the movie, so I just wanted to include it. I saw it and I was like, yes, of course we always need Firefly. And again, trying to include at least one graphic novel, if at all humanly possible. So that is this month's book picks, or at least the highlights. Of course, there will be more in the Goodreads virtual bookshelf virtual display. I always get it confused. The Goodreads discussion board, and then our actual physical display inside Tech at Lowell, which you can see from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday at this point of recording. Hopefully we will soon be open for longer hours because we still miss y'all, even though we've been getting to see you, which is exciting. Next month, for the month of December, we are going to do Arthurian Legend because that's one of my favorites, and there's so many really neat variations on it. I think you'll be surprised with what I dig up. So that is all for today. I hope y'all liked last month's books. I hope you like some of the ones from this month, and as always, have fun and keep reading. Bye!